Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to another weekly episode. And we've got Knayha back on the show again with us. Knayha, welcome once again. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you. Thanks for having me. After the debacle of the United, I think we need to move on as quickly as possible. So thank God we're doing this again very soon.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's good that you support two clubs, right? So one is doing badly, you can always support and switch to the other club. Like, the other one's doing so well. You have that luxury. You have that luxury. I don't. If anything,
Yeah.
my second club is probably Dortmund, and they suck as well. So unfortunately, probably. Well, although I could even support Milan. I do have a soft spot for Milan as well. They seem to be doing well. Anyway, all right, yeah, but yeah, we're going to talk about Barcelona today. Actually, it's good. We're doing this. This is now what, our fifth week that we're doing this, the fifth episode. We now have our own playlist for this one as well. So now we've made it big because actually have a playlist. It goes on our YouTube channel, so you can see all the other episodes as well, the past episodes as well that we've done. So yeah, so let's give it again. We're entering the big time now for this one. But anyway, do remember to subscribe to our channel if you're new. Also like, share, and comment on this video. Let us know what you think. As we go along, please do share your feedback as well. We always love reading it. We enjoy it. So please do share that. We're getting close to 150 subscribers on YouTube, so it'd be nice to get there. And of course, we've crossed 500 recently on Facebook, and now we're going to get on to 550, 600. The growth never stops, right? So anyway, and it seems like the resurgence doesn't stop for Barcelona as well, because that's what we're going to talk about. We don't always talk a lot about non-Premier League stuff, constraints of the job and all that. But we do. Whenever we do it, we enjoy it. So this is a good one to talk about, the resurgence of Barcelona. And no, the title is not a typo. It is the Xavi of success, but the Xavi is a different Xavi. You gotta, if you know, if you know the word, yes, it's not English. That's all I can say. So yeah, think about it that way, and then you might get it. Anyway, let's talk about Barcelona. Before Xavi comes in mid-season, it's all sorts of crisis that's happening. They're rooted in mid-table. People, that was a bit of exaggeration. I don't think they were gonna finish in the bottom half or something like that. But surely there was something wrong. They make the change. They bring in, an ex-club legend. Sounds familiar. Somebody who hasn't done a lot in the game. Sounds familiar. Comes in, but the script is different. 10 games in, 15 games in. Looks like things are improving. They're doing well. They beat Atletico. They're in the round of 16 of the Europe League. They're doing pretty well. What do you think has changed? From the last management to this one.
I think it's something which goes back to the roots of the club. I think it's Koeman was not bad. I want to kind of put it out that he was just not given enough time. The sentiment just turned on him, and then Laporta is kind of a guy who does not like the pressure coming on him. He will do like those. He will do the steps that kind of don't get him into trouble with the club or the supporters and stuff like the previous, and because he's seen how bad that kind of goes eventually. Losing Messi was obviously one of the biggest ones, but then how the season started with Koeman, and it was not. I don't think it worked. And then I think the only thing I think it just took Xavi is a Barca bred completely. La Masia, everything. So he really kind of knows the roots, and when he came in, he was kind of he said it. I think when he came, he said it in his first interview, like, we're not the Barca of the old, so you can't be expecting us to kind of start playing in that style of football or kind of start achieve. So I think he helped kind of underplaying Barcelona from the start, and he basically said, we will just see where we go from here. So and immediately no one kind of said, oh, he's kind of undermining. People were like, okay, he's being realistic. Barcelona have not been playing well, and they've been, the troubles that they've had is something which has been an issue. And just accepting that as a fact and being like, yes, I don't know where we're gonna go from here. And of course, new manager comes in, and Xavi's been talked about for a long time. I think even when Koeman was going to being talked, he was still kind of being considered. But I guess he wanted more time, and he got more time, but it's now turning well for him, at least for him now. I would say it's because, again, Barcelona is kind of a club which is like the volatility around the whole. It's very volatile in a way. I would say. So, but it's pretty interesting. What do you think about it? Like, what do you, as per you, is kind of is this the signings he made, or just Laporta kind of being like, take him, do whatever you want
the
to?
one thing that I did say at the start of the season, I said this. I said Barcelona long term, they have players that they can build the team around. They've got Fati, they've got Pedri, they've got Gavi, De Jong. These are young players. The core is still very young. They're inexperienced, but they're young, and they don't cost anything. They're not charging them bomb for salaries. So as long as they don't do something silly in the transfer market, as long as they keep that going, they'll be fine. They'll be fine with everything else because you can buy a striker, you can buy a good striker, you can get some. They probably and then maybe they need defenders. Defenders shouldn't cost that much anyway. So as long as they don't do something silly like go and spend 100, 200 million pounds on someone, they should be okay. They'll be okay. Take them a year, take them 2 years maybe, but in the long term they'll be fine as long as they keep that young core together. And now it looks like they're doing that. I mean, they signed Ferran Torres, again, another exciting young Spanish player, only about 40 million pounds, I believe, or 40 million euros that they paid for him. So they've not paid a lot for him. He's enjoying his life there. They got Aubameyang for free. Hasn't cost them a lot as well, so that's good. They've signed Pablo Torre for, this is what I read, that's almost done. Again, it's an interesting one, 5 million euros plus 15 million in add-ons. So, that's like, normally you have the big fee and then the add-on fee, but in this one, they're doing the other way around, probably to get around FFP, I'm assuming. But they've got that.
I think that's the case. I think everything Barcelona are right now doing is kind of FFP. Even the Ferran Torres deal is like not immediate. It's like over, I think, 5 years or something like that. And so it's like, so I think and Barcelona, like they're trying to kind of like wriggle.
Yeah. So. And that's okay. I mean, as long as they don't go too crazy, crazy in the transfer market, they'll be fine because they're still making money. They're still getting all those revenues, so they're okay. They'll be okay. Pedri, Fati, these guys, they're not paying them a lot of money at the moment. They probably will have to pay them a lot at some point. But for now, they're not going to have to pay them a lot. So, they're managing, and I think that's the key is going back to not doing crazy things in the transfer market. I think that's been the key, and that's helped them. And the only question mark is on that defense, because Pique is not getting any younger. Dani Alves is not getting any younger. Jordi Alba is not getting any younger. I don't know if I haven't seen a lot of Dest. And Araujo and Mingueza. I've heard a lot of good things about Araujo and Mingueza. You would probably know better than I do because you watch them. But then, of course, there's some question marks over Dest. And then I don't know who the left back is, who the other full.
I think it's like, okay, Umtiti has not been talked. Lenglet is still kind of, he's not had his best of his seasons. Like he's
not had a good time for a while now. I think probably since
he's not. Yeah, and Pique is, as you said, not getting younger. I think it's going to be a completely new backline by the next season, I would say. And we can we don't need to look far. It's just Chelsea boys might be coming. We might have some Chelsea boys coming over. I think Christensen has kind of agreed. I was just reading the tweet from Fabrizio. I think they're signing the contract till 2027. With Christensen now, so he's gonna go. So I think they have somebody. They have a replacement for at least Pique. Then I would say in set, and then Umtiti is kind of fallen off in some really bad.
Oh, I forgot about Eric Garcia. They still have Eric Garcia, right?
Yeah, they have Eric Garcia as well. So that's a La Masia, product in that sense. So that they have some players. But it's kind of still not known what takes. Like at least now they have a concise midfield, so they know there are 6 players in the midfield that they're going to play. Of course, they need a replacement for Sergio Busquets, but then are they hoping? And I think Nico Gonzalez is kind of one of those players that I feel that plays very well. And Frankie De Jong obviously was kind of the main idea to kind of get him to replace Busquets, but then that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. But the defense is going to be completely new, and the players, and I think they're finally getting some structure as well. Of course, on the striking side of it, they are much more. I don't know, the curious case of Ousmane Dembele, what happens with him? It's still pretty weird. Memphis Depay has been surprisingly very quiet, and that's one thing I've kind of. He's very outspoken generally. But I don't know how they've managed to kind of keep him very calm and scoring a very cold penalty and in the last minute. So that was kind of a nice. They have, of course, a prodigy in Ansu Fati, and getting back Adama Traore, Ferran Torres, Aubameyang is there, Luke De Jong, Martin Braithwaite, and so I think they have more players right now in the striking department than the midfield. So, and then they still need to sort their defense. So in that, so I would say it's still kind of, which is what is funny here is like Xavi almost players, you don't see them playing very aggressive. So you almost feel like they don't want to concede. But then when you look at the squad, they're so aggressive. Like the players that they have are so kind of aggressive looking. And I think that's one thing we discussed, right? That about Barca. It's like, at least on paper with the transfer window, I think I remember that we did discuss about this. Like, at least on the transfer window, they do look menacing now with Adama and Aubameyang being there. And, they've done the business, I would say. Like, Traore was kind of the assist king they wanted, and from the right, and he delivered. Aubameyang is kind of scoring goals for them, and the backflips still continue. So it's something which is interesting, but it's the main question with Barcelona is like, can this sustain? Like, is this just what do you think about it? Is it just like the Xavi effect, or do you think it's just like, okay,
Well, there's always a new manager bounce, right? I mean, we'll know when they play Madrid in a couple of weeks. We'll know how good they are. Madrid are not doing that well either, but they seem to grind out results as they need to. I think the key with Adama Traore, I feel he might suit La Liga more than Premier League, because Premier League defenders are used to having physical players against them. I think they eventually got used to Traore, what he was trying to do, what he was doing. I don't think La Liga defenders are that physical. No offense, I think many of them are technically brilliant, but not physically brilliant, and so they might struggle with his brand of physicality, especially with all that oil that he uses. His secret weapon, baby oil. The oil tax there, but I wonder, and there's an oil joke in there, but I'm not going to make it. For me, I think Traore will suit La Liga more than he will suit the Premier League. I think the question is, how long will it take for defenders to adapt to his style of football? Will it be quick or slow? And that might define his effectiveness going forward, because as long as he can do that, I think defenders will struggle against it, and then he'll have those numbers. With Aubameyang, obviously it's a stopgap thing. I don't see him being along. He's already in his 30s, right? He's 33 or something, so I don't see him sticking around for too long at the club. Memphis. I don't know if he's a striker.
But do you see, like, the Aubameyang thing is very curious. I'm also, that's something which I'm also like looking at. He's scoring goals. That's a good thing. He did score goals for Arsenal as well when he kind of came in. But then they dried up pretty quickly because of, as you said, people realize that the style of play and how do you want to tackle them. It's not going to take like million years for defenders to understand that he's slow and stuff. But then what's the situation there? Like, so of course it's a stopgap arrangement, but does Barca
I think long term is obviously the front three will probably be Fati, Ferran and Adama. I think medium term, I should say, long term, medium term, whatever. I think that should be the front three. I mean, it depends on Fati. I mean, I know he's had injury issues, so we'll see how quickly he recovers.
Yeah, but also with Traore, right? Because Traore is still not. I don't know if Wolves is going to sell them for cheap. Like, there is no buy.
Torres has gone, right? Is it a loan deal or is it a permanent deal? I think it's a permanent.
It's a loan deal.
No, I think it was a permanent deal, right? 20 million, 15 million they paid. Loan with obligation to buy, if anything.
But loan with obligation. But then I don't know if Wolves will just be like, okay, I think there was still a clause which said that they need to discuss this. Like, they might need more money after this.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's on loan. I thought he was like.
No, he's on loan. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be interesting. But I mean, if they make the Champions League, it's a 20-25 million pound deal, so they can do it. I mean, I don't see the problem in doing it unless they have big transfers planned for the defense, which they shouldn't really. Then I think that should be a deal that they should do. I mean, again, they can take that. They don't have to do it now. They can think about it at the end of the season. But I would think that long term, that would be the plan. Would be their front three. Would be Ferran, Adama, and the Fati. That would be their front three, depending on how Fati recovers from injury. They've got Pedri there as well, who could play there if they wanted him to, but I think Pedri should be a central midfielder. I think that's where his best work will be. So yeah, I mean, you know what? We'll say that. I think the immediate present probably is looks good. I think the future looks bright. And I know we always keep talking about the future, and that's not something that we need to. Things can always go in and out. You never know what happens with the future, but at the moment, even next season looks like a much better prospect than what many people would have imagined. So it's just a matter of like figuring out for them is for players to figure out whether they can go up the gears and how quickly they can do that. That's it. I mean, Is it the Xavi effect? Maybe it is. I think there was a lot of negativity around Koeman, and sometimes when you have negativity around around you and around your team, it gets harder for players as well, because you know that as soon as you can see the goal, as soon as the play doesn't go your way, you know the fans are gonna get on your back. You know things are gonna, and you know then your players start to drop. And I said this: if players don't believe in themselves, the fans are not going to believe in you. So you know that's and it goes vice versa as well. The fans don't believe in you, then the players themselves, their confidence starts to drop as well. So you know, it's like a cycle thing. I think with Koeman, that was the issue, was the negativity around everything that he did. Was I mean, if Koeman had said, you said it, Xavi said it, that you know it's going to take time. You know, we'll see where it goes. If Koeman had said that, he would be vilified, crucified probably for saying that, right? But Xavi can come out and say that because you know he's a club legend. He can do that. So I think just having the fans back on side, I think has made a big difference. And I think the coach has helped with that. Is Xavi a good coach? I don't know. Maybe he is. Time will tell, right? It's still early days. I think they, along with Sevilla, will probably be the favorites for the Europa League. So I'd be very surprised if one of those two didn't win the Europa League. One of them should win it. Because yeah, I mean, I don't even think there's anybody else that could win it at this point left in there. Who could beat them? So not who could win it, but who could beat them. I don't think there's anyone left at the moment. So yeah, so I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, yeah, that's where I see it. What do you think in terms of next? I mean, it's funny to say this, but do you think Barcelona can make a title challenge next season? And I mean, this was like not even a question. The question would be, can Barcelona win the title next season? Now it's like, can Barcelona make a title challenge next season? It's funny asking that, but do you think that can happen?
I you know, with Barcelona, because I think it's also not only Barcelona. It's like you can see how the top, like Real Madrid, is struggling in a way with kind of getting they're top of the league, but then you know it's again the question is like, will they sustain this form? And then you have, you know, other clubs as well kind of coming up. But Barcelona, I think they will need this next season completely. I don't think that they because you know you can't write off Barcelona ever, I would say, in a La Liga, because a lot of things can happen.
Well, there's not that many teams, so there's not that many teams that can actually, there's not much competition.
Exactly. And then so it's kind of much, it's not that open as right now, you know, across other, like, okay, in the Premier League, I would say it's not as open as it is there. It's very kind of known. Okay, the top four is pretty much set. You know, you can just kind of expect some changes there. But you know, they're not in the position. I think they will need at least, Xavi needs a complete season, like a preseason with them, to know his team in a way, and then kind of set them up properly, and then they start working in that sense. So I would say next season still, but you never know with Barcelona. I always have this feeling that, you know, they can, because the way they have a momentum right now, and of course it's, you know, it's also the way that Xavi, and I think he will underplay this. I think Xavi is very, very, very smart in that sense, that he has, I think, and you know, Laporta and Xavi have a great relation, so they already know who they want, who he wants, and who they can afford and stuff. Of course, the defense is going to be a thing, but then I feel it's more like he's setting low expectations. Basically, he's trying to say that, okay, we are not at that level, even if you feel that we are winning so much. It's just like we're just performing. That's it. We are still kind of lacking a lot of key players, or we need more players, and we will just try and rebuild from where we are. So I think that's one of the things, and could be I won't be surprised if kind of Barcelona are like somewhere you know, a year down the line we're talking, and then they're in December they're topping the La Liga.
Yeah, I mean, Atletico are kind of slowing down, and you know, they won the title last season.
They're all, I think they're all kind of slowing. I don't know what happened. It's just kind of I think we were pretty Real Madrid was running away with Sevilla.
Be slowing down, but the problem is they don't have a striker to replace Benzema. Yeah. Well, they will have a striker next season. Might have two next season. We'll see what happens there. There's there's Mbappe, who's definitely almost on the way, and then we might have.
It's going to be very interesting to then kind of see how Real Madrid gets like the Galacticos in that sense. Yeah. Or kind of going back to that Galactico level. And
they do have a much better midfield now than they used to. I mean, if you have Valverde and Camavinga, that's a decent midfield to have. So I mean, it all comes down to that midfield. As long as they don't neglect it in trying to sign two Galacticos. Or one even, then I think they'll be fine. But yeah, Vinicius has said form. Rodrigo looks okay, so they've got options there. I think they'll continue to see how they do. But yeah, I mean, this is about I mean, Barcelona for me. Are they in a better? I think in 5 years' time, in 5 years from next season, I might not be surprised if Barcelona have more league titles than Real Madrid. Just let me put it this way: in 5 years' time, I wouldn't be surprised to say Real Madrid won 2 and Barcelona won 3. I wouldn't be surprised with that, or if it was 4-1, whatever the case may be. I wouldn't be surprised because I just feel Barcelona well placed. Again, it all comes down to how you manage things, right? I mean, again, here's another thing. Real Madrid are going to sign Mbappe. They might sign Haaland. What do Barcelona do? They go, all right, we need to spend 200 million pounds on someone because, 200 million euros on someone because Real Madrid have done it. So here's 200 million for Harry Kane. Harry, please come over. Something like that. I mean, something crazy like that. You expect Barcelona to do it. If they don't do that, if they say, no, you know what? We've got our strikers, we've got our midfield, we just need defenders. Let's focus on getting defenders. They'll be fine. But if they go and think, no, we need to get somebody, and then they go after someone like Harry Kane. And this is nothing against Harry Kane. I'm just using him as an example. It might not be Harry Kane, it might be somebody else, it might be Lewandowski, whoever. But if they try to go to hammer and tongs and players that don't fit the system, it'll be
I really feel that they would not do this again. I really feel that they've kind of learned their lesson in that way. It's like, yep, this didn't work. Let's not go do this ever again, because financially they were almost like they're still. Like, that's the thing, they're still not out of the gutter that they were in financially, I would say. The management gutter that they're in, I think they're still kind of slowly, and these performances and the way Laporta and Xavi are kind of talking, it's just kind of a whitewash right now, and people not kind of talk about it because we are pretty much. But then of course they can't be like, we can't sign players, then it's like, okay, they were so crap, or we need to know what's happened there. So they're still kind of signing players, and if you see that's I think what's happening is that they're looking at players with free agents, like they're not signing club players from. That's a trend I'm seeing. I think even there are some more players that they're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that they shouldn't sign players. I think they should definitely sign, but they need players. They need to sign players if they're not getting them. So that's fine. But not to go like, crazy on players like, okay, fine. Oh, they signed Mbappe. This was basically what happened. Right? PSG get Neymar, and then Barcelona go, okay, well, they took Neymar. We've got to make a statement. So let's bring in Dembele, let's bring in Coutinho, let's bring in Griezmann. And none of them really worked out, right? Because all they were doing was signing big name players.
I think what would be really funny is like, and I think what will be really interesting is to see who kind of stays in summer and who leaves. Because I feel that there's going to be a big overhaul. I think Dembele leaves. Easily in my mind. And there are a lot of contracts as well that need to be negotiated.
I think Longley will leave as well. He should leave anyway. I don't think he's got a future there. So you've got those two players definitely leaving. But what's good is to see is that there's not a lot of players who you would say should leave, because I think a lot of players who should leave have left. So aside from young players, but that's the good part. Coutinho's gone. I know it's a loan deal, right? It hasn't. Oh no, that was a permanent deal. I think that was done now. So Coutinho, I think, left on a deal. Griezmann left on a permanent deal as well. So actually no, he hasn't. He's on a loan with option to buy. So he's not even left yet. He's on a loan with option to buy. Hopefully, Atletico will take that up, but we'll see. From Barcelona's point of view, hopefully. But they're still not there yet, as you said, you're right. But hopefully things will start to ease up. We all want to see Barcelona doing well again. Where do you think they'll finish this season?
It's I think it's going to be tricky for them, to be very frank. It's not going to be. I don't think it's. Okay. A Europa League. I feel that Europa League is where they kind of will focus. That's what I feel. I think they will kind of try to win it. They have the pedigree to win it.
They should be winning it.
They shouldn't be, but I think they will win it. In my mind, and it's kind of it's also the fact that that's the only thing that kind of brings some level of confidence, maybe, or some sense of that, okay, they are still winning trophies, because La Liga, I don't think they will finish top 4, of course. Champions League spots is pretty much clear, I would say, and that's how I see it. I don't see them crazy performances. It's going to be very interesting. I think it's funny that the only like Sevilla and they can only play Sevilla in the finals. So it could be the case that we see some Sevilla Europa League final, Barcelona and Sevilla. So apart from that, they're pretty, they're playing Galatasaray, and that should not be an issue for them in the Europa League round of 16. But of course, the March 20th El Clasico again, kind of course, they lost the last one. It'll be pretty interesting to see how this goes, because they have momentum. That's kind of what I'm looking at. They've not changed the side much, but they have momentum, and these are games which are kind of classic, like the games where you kind of know where they are, like even if you hype them up with, but then these games kind of then do matter. So in my mind, it's kind of, yeah, they kind of have they finished top 4, and also will kind of try everything to win the Europa League.
Well, apologies. I think aside from Sevilla, I think you've got Leverkusen, who might be a dark horse actually. By Leverkusen, they seem to be doing well in Bundesliga, so they might be a dark horse. They're playing Atlanta, so we'll see if they get past that one first. But that'll be a tough one. But they might get some problem. But yeah, I can't see past. To be honest, I can't see past Barcelona, Sevilla, just based on history and records and things like that. I think they'll finish second in La Liga. I think they will. I think Sevilla will kind of slow down. They are slowing down anyway. I think they will probably slow down. They're only 7 points off. They have a game in hand as well, so not that far from Sevilla. They are only 2 points off of 5th, so still a possibility that Betis might trouble them, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely that Betis will have enough to kind of hold them now. So yeah, I think they could finish second, and I think they should win the Europa League. They should. I know it's hard to look past Sevilla. If Sevilla get to the quarterfinals, and I think it might be hard to look past Sevilla. Exactly. Right, but maybe Barcelona have the chops to do it, to kind of cut them down. I think if they play Barcelona over 2 legs, I think Sevilla will lose. If it's a one-off, I can see Barcelona losing.
Exactly, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Over 2 legs, I think you can see Sevilla kind of slipping up, being able to keep it up for 180 minutes against Barcelona. But on a one-off, Barcelona could lose. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. That was wonderful to see. Congratulations to all the Barcelona fans who stuck it out through the hard parts and kind of enjoying the season now a little bit, which is always good, which is more than you can say for some other teams. But thank you so much, Knayha, for joining me for the show. It's wonderful to have you. As always, if you enjoyed that show, please remember to share, like, and comment on the channel, on this video rather. And you can also subscribe to our channel on YouTube and Facebook. You can do both. Always enjoy all the attention that we get and all the support that you give us. It's always appreciative. And just a quick note here, in case for those who are listening on Anchor, thank you so much if you're listening to this on Anchor. We will continue putting it there. If in case this does get uploaded to TalkShoe, then I just want to let everybody know who's watching on TalkShoe. It's not that we don't want to post it on TalkShoe, but TalkShoe has kind of made it very hard for me to post stuff. So I know this, like, it's a bit uneven. Like some of these episodes, they get uploaded, others don't. So we enjoy, we love our TalkShoe community as well, and I do post it on there. It's just that TalkShoe is weird and sometimes doesn't let it go on. So in case you're seeing episodes not on there, you can move over to Anchor if you like to listen to us. You can support us there, or you can of course watch it on YouTube or Facebook. So just note there, it's not that we don't want to post it, it's just TalkShoe is making it difficult. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much, Knayha. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Have a good day or night, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care. Goodbye.